You guys know that on my channel I don't really speak about my struggles and things I go through. Like today, I look really glam and probably look normal, but actually today is probably one of the worst pain days I've had. I feel so ill, so sick. It's just something that I find really hard to speak about, like pain and things in my life that I guess I don't really speak about, like things that I struggle with, things that I may or may not be able to do for the rest of my life, and one of them is cars. As you guys know, I'm 22, I should be by now driving a car. I mean, not everyone drives, I get that, but majority of people by my age are driving cars, a driving licence, things like that. I've never been able to do. Now, it's so incredible, this world has so many things that are just an incredible adaptation. Like, there's a gorgeous girl on Instagram called Izzy, and she's an amputee, and she can drive her car. I think that's so incredible that them things are there for people who may need extra adaptations, and it's possible for someone with a disability to drive, which I love, and I think that is so incredible because I think everyone should have the right and the option to be able to drive. You guys know I am absolutely tiny. I know the majority of people with short stature actually can drive a car. I've seen it, I know about it, people have spoke to me about it before. Obviously, as I've got older, I will admit, like, years ago I never really wanted to drive, and even to this day, like, I've never had the huge passion to drive, but I think the whole reason behind that is because I can't drive. So in the back of my head, I'm like, well, what's the point in me wanting to drive when in reality I know it's impossible. A lot of things to do with me is quite hard because I can't compare myself to someone with short stature, because even that is not relatable, because I'm so unique and different that I don't even relate to people who have got dwarfism, because I've not even got that. So it's hard to be able to replicate things for people with a disability to do it on me, because then things may be great for a majority of people who are smaller or who have got that type of disability, but for me it's a total different case because I'm so unique and different that they've not even probably thought of the things that I need help with. So with driving a car, obviously the height comes into your brain straight away, like I'm tiny, so it would be ridiculous amount of adaptations. And just to prove to you that it's so hard to do it for my height, my wheelchair, this one was a bespoke wheelchair and it cost a lot of money. My wheelchair I'm in now is like perfectly made for me, which is the first wheelchair that I've been able to sit in that isn't too big for me and has never had any like alterations or anything. This was made for me, £19,000. So as you can imagine, a car is expensive enough, but then the adaptations on top of that is ridiculous. Like, it's not free, it's very expensive, and especially to the point where I would need it, it would be impossible, it really would. I have another wheelchair that I actually use when I'm out for walks and stuff that's a bit more like of a off-roader wheelchair. It's the smallest you can get it, but I still have had to have small adaptations, and even the smallest of things are not small enough for me. And so not only would it be high adaptations, it would also be the steering wheel, things like that. It would have to be very easy things for me to do. Like, I struggle turning a steering wheel. Like, I've tried, it is so hard. So all of them things would be adapted, but it's just like when you look at things, it's very, for me, unrealistic. And as much as, you know, if I did really want to, I would still have to think about all of these things, but because I'm not in that mindset, and I know it would take a lot of, you know, a lot of money and a lot of adaptations for me to be even able to drive a car, it's just pretty damn hard, you know. And also as well, I know people probably think this is quite strange of me to say, but it's also the safety. If you think about me on the road, you would look at me for a few seconds and be like, what the hell, why is a toddler driving a car? Because if people just quickly look at me, I'm going to look too small to drive a big van, because I'm going to need a van for my wheelchair. So my vehicle that I've got now is a huge caravel, and imagine this tiny little me like driving this huge vehicle. It would look so wrong, and that honestly sounds stupid, but it could cause a collision. it could cause some issues, because I can imagine people like not looking where they're going because they're staring at me. You know what I mean? Like, I know this is quite far-fetched, but it really is something that I do have to think about, because I get stared at in public quite a lot. Like, people will be walking into each other because they're staring at me. Imagine that on the road. Like, I could possibly be causing crashes because people are being, like, shocked at...
What the hell have I just seen a toddler drive a car? Like, what?
You know, it's so, like, stupid to say, but it is something that I do think about quite a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, imagine me driving. I'd be so conscious. It would be a hot mess, because I don't want to be causing me danger, but also other people, because if it's like that in public, I can't imagine how weird and strange it would be for me to drive a big vehicle. In other people's eyes, that would be so wrong. Now, for like the most major one, I can't drive because of my medication. My medication that I'm on, which is very, very high painkillers, like top of the top painkillers, they advise you, like, you cannot drive on them because they make you feel horrific. They make you feel spaced out. And not just that as well, my pain can make me feel really bad. And if my pain come on as I'm driving, I could cause myself to crash, because when my pain comes, it sometimes just makes me like really tired and knocks me out for some weird reason. Like, I sometimes can't control my body and it just knocks me out, and that is so dangerous. But yeah, if you look on the bottle of my like painkillers and the box or anything like that, it literally says in bold, do not drive or use any like machinery or anything while on this medication, because it is that, like, obviously dangerous. Because imagine if I couldn't control it, or I lost control of something. Again, it's not the greatest. And it's also as well, because I'm on it long term, like I'll be on it for the rest of my life, I shouldn't really be driving my electric wheelchair. I have been in this pain now since, oh my God, 2010 or something like that. So as you can imagine, I'm pretty used to like what my body, you know, how my body reacts to pain, things like that. It's one of them things that I do look at other people and I think, you know what, I'd love to drive. Like, I would love to have that independence, to be able to just nip somewhere and go on my own, because I am a very, like, I'm an introvert. I love being on my own, so I would love to go shopping on my own and not have people around me all the time, because I just like my own space. I've always been like that. So to be able to just jump in my car and do certain things would be amazing for me, and I would love that. But like I said, with the pros and cons to this, there's more cons to pros. As much as I would love the freedom, it's just not possible. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed and maybe just got to, I don't know, understand me a little bit better. If you want to see more videos like this where I talk about things that I can't do and things that I have to face, and I don't know, I think it's quite interesting to talk about these things. So if you guys want me to do more videos on like my disability or my pain, things like that, let me know, because I feel like it's really important to talk about these things. And also, it gives you guys a little eye-opener, because my life is so different to a lot of other people's lives. But that is it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.